but neither is Snoop Dogg or Jay-Z or Eminem. He and Nas held a summit with the Detroit, I didn't even mention this, Detroit mayor, and 13,000 kids came out. I don't know how many registered, but 13,000. At that time we weren't counting and creating the database that we're creating today. So I'm just saying it's an ongoing effort. We have a lot of support, and I'm really blessed and thankful that I'm here today to announce yet another summit. I think that's about it. Thank you.
School here that sends more of our people to get art education and degrees in communications and things in related fields than any school in America, Columbia College. So I want to say thank you. Reverend Run doesn't need to speak, but I want to recognize his presence from the legendary Run-DMC, Reverend Run. If now members of the press could simply identify yourself, what news organ you represent, we'll entertain your questions at this time. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, again, we're gathering a database. We're gathering the simple as we're gathering a database. But we know that you have to start somewhere. We said a message of empowerment, and voting is, I believe that if you don't recognize that you're a part of community, it's very difficult to make it in life anyway. If you don't know that your job is to get up and give to community, you can't make any money, and you can't share in any of the happiness or the love that's going on that really is the purpose for living. So getting a card, a voter's registration card, is a part of that process. So that I think it's important to get the card. After you get the voter's registration card, you look on the television, you see the candidate, you know that you're part of the process, and you start to educate yourself. But we won't leave it up to that natural evolution. Of course, we want to, with our database, when they send messages, continue to work on the process of educating these voters as well. That's why we, he requested.
Yes. What distinguishes our outreach to our youth a little differently is that we're building a database that's trackable, that's communicatable. We're getting emails, we're getting text messages 2 ways. You know what I'm saying? And the good thing about this is room for everybody. This is inclusive. We're not leaving nobody out of this process. And I think Chicago, Russell, I can't think of a better city than Chicago, Illinois. A lot of people, since I've been here the last 7 weeks, helping to plan this summit, always try to point to some of the negatives. But in truth, show me a negative, I'll show you a positive. On behalf of every negative, there's an opportunity to do something positive.
That's right.
And so we're not here so much as to just be repetitive of everything that's wrong, because there are some things that are wrong. But we believe we can inspire our youth, which is the best generation of youth we've ever had. Show them some love. That's why we're not charging for this. I can speak to that. We all know that racial profiling now as a matter of law is illegal. But any police department that would build a dossier on a rapper or a hip-hop artist because of their culture is just as guilty of racial profiling. Cultural profiling is wrong, it's unconstitutional, it's illegal. Hip-hop is a legitimate enterprise, a legitimate cultural phenomenon. And in truth, this is not an anti-law enforcement thing, because I know police officers right here in Chicago, in their squad cars, they listen to hip-hop. They're down with hip-hop. But there may be some. We don't know about the Chicago Police Department. But we do know about the Miami Police Department. We do know about the New York City Police Department and LA Police Department. They were caught with their pants down. They've had dossiers. They are guilty of cultural profiling. And I'm hoping, I pray to God, that Chicago policeman has learned from those police departments' mistakes. So as we convene a hip-hop summit in Chicago, we're hoping that there will be a cooperative spirit, that everybody will celebrate the positive thing that we're trying to do for our children. Yes. The positive thing, because I'm going to keep bringing back, why are we doing this? It's for the youth of the city. Right. It's for those that want opportunity, for those who want entrepreneurial opportunity, creative opportunity. That's why we're having the summit. And so there's no room for cultural profiling, racial profiling, ethnic profiling, any kind of profiling. It's wrong if somebody tries to do it, use the cover of the law to break the law.
I'm saying, I want to make a brief statement about the cultural profiling that's been going on. You know, the statement that was made that was most, I guess most covered by the media was that most rappers are members of gangs. Now, the truth is in New York City, or in Miami for instance, in Liberty City, there are many people who have been involved in murders and drug dealing and other activities and have long police records and who are threats to the community, but we don't have the manpower, certainly not, you know, most people wouldn't guess we have the tax dollars to follow all of them around. Those poets who escaped that struggle do not deserve to be, I mean, many people say, well, rap is about that struggle. When Jam Master Jay dies, for instance, he's a reflection or an example of all the kids who have been killed in that neighborhood over the last year. There have been 14 murders in about 3 weeks in Hollis, Queens, and the only one you heard about was Jam Master Jay passing.
Now let's be.
But the other 13 murders were not newsworthy. So the police have our tax dollars, and their job is to profile the murderers who are known murderers and the drug dealers who are known drug dealers, not the poets who don't have police records. And so that is why we are likely to file a lawsuit. And I say likely that, you know, I hasten to say it because one time you say something, you got to follow through. Just so they can learn a lesson, and people like the Police Department of Chicago, which I don't know about their activity on this issue.
Black code,
I think they should back off.
Red squad, all of
There
it.
are a lot of people who want to go to work on them, and I think they know it's illegal, and their job is to uphold the law, not to break it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, right here. I happen to be a GCI. I'm sorry, Morgan Carter, Omnibus Television. Black media, what do you expect from the black-oriented and black-owned media? Either one of them are both in terms of supporting them. And how many more cities have you got to go to?
We've got 10 more cities on our schedule, and we've gotten a great support from the black media. But the last summer we did in LA was covered by 2020 and covered by the national news. And the one in Syracuse, even though it was a little city, was covered by USA Today and national news. Houston was on Fox News, their news channel, quite a bit. So I think we're going to get a lot of news. I think the black media, where the hip-hop summit and the hip-hop agenda has the most relevance, we're hopeful that they will really be a major part of covering and supporting our work. They have been in the past, and we expect and hope that it continues. The Chicago Defender. Yes.
Hi, Brenda Aranda with ABC 7. It says here that besides empowering youth with voting registration, the summit's also going to be dealing with lyrical responsibility. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, that's not what our theme is. Taking back responsibility. We want to inspire people to tell their truth, but we want to also give them a different truth. 50 Cent came to our rally that we had about the drug laws. But his mother was a drug dealer, and she was killed when he was 8 years old. She was murdered when he was 8 years old. He's been shot a lot of times, but only but 9 times, 1 time, and he didn't die.